we cry for their dead, and we mourn and we feel grief and sorrow for their dead. But in reality, the dead are actually celebrating. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentions in the Quran, and He says, وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ قُتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ أَمْوَاتًا. Do not assume that those who died in the path of Allah are dead. The fact that you assume, you're not allowed to assume, let alone believe they are dead. وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ قُتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ أَمْوَاتًا. Don't you dare assume that those who died in the cause of Allah are dead. But Ya Allah, we see them as dead. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He says, بَلْ أَحْيَاء, they're alive, but we see them dead. عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ يُرْزَقُونَ. With their Lord they are alive and they're being provided for. فَرِحِينَ بِمَا آتَاهُمُ اللَّهُ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ. This is the word here. فَرِحِين, meaning rejoicing. And they're celebrating what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them from His unlimited blessings, subhanallah. For they're really alive and they're really celebrating and rejoicing over this moment now and forever. So there's no need to mourn their dead, and there's no need to lose hope because they're dying and this is what's happening. Rather, go and mourn the dead that are still walking with a dead heart inside towards their brothers and their sisters.
روحك ما يهمها اعتقال، مهما طال السجن وطال. روحك ما يهمها اعتقال، مهما طال السجن وطال. هذا دربك درب رجال، يابا درب رجال، يابا درب رجال. سجنك خلوة وابتهال، والزنزان جمع بطال. سجنك خلوة وابتهال، والزنزان جمع بطال. منك سجانك مينك، لا لا مينك، لا لا مينك. راسك عالي عالي عالي، جبينك عالي عالي عالي. راسك عالي عالي عالي، جبينك عالي عالي عالي. راسك عالي، جبينك عالي. راسك عالي، جبينك عالي. قسما صامت مثل جبال، وانت الغالي مالي مالي. لأهلك غالي مالي مالي، وانت الغالي مالي مالي. لأهلك غالي مالي مالي.
First point, and it's a very difficult point, wallahi, but it's one of the most obvious. Political power is not a sign of Allah's pleasure, and political defeat is not a sign of Allah's anger. On the contrary, we begin to contextualize by delinking izzah in this world with izzah in the eyes of Allah. We have to delink it. The two are not causally related. It is possible that the most honored people are not shown honor by the inhabitants of this earth, and that doesn't mean that the Creator does not show them honor. That's how we begin to understand and make sense of this. Because this dunya is not the ultimate goal. This world is not an indication of whether Allah is pleased with you or not. As Allah says in the Quran, كُلًّا نُمِدُّ هَؤُلَاءِ وَهَؤُلَاءِ. We will give this dunya to all. هؤلاء means the believers, وَهَؤُلَاء means the Quraysh and Kuffar. كُلًّا نُمِدُّ هَؤُلَاءِ وَهَؤُلَاءِ مِنْ عَطَاءِ رَبِّكَ. Allah's blessings of this dunya are open to all. And there are times and situations where the righteous do not live to see the fruits of their piety in this world. How many were the Sahaba martyred in Mecca? Was their death for no cause? They never saw Medina. They never saw the fruits of their own patience. Our Prophet ﷺ passed by the Sahabi whom my father named me after, Yasir, and his wife Sumayya, and they are being tortured to death, the first martyrs. Can you imagine how he himself ﷺ felt? And what could he do other than say, Sabran ala Yasir fa inna mu'idukum al-jannah? Now I'm not advocating, by the way, pacifism, don't misunderstand me. I'm saying we need to begin the discussion by understanding Aqidah and theology, that this world and the izzah of this world means nothing. That's why Allah reminds the Quraysh that, hey Quraysh, you think you're powerful? There were people more powerful than you. كانوا أشد منهم وأكثر. They were more than you. They had more quantity than you. فاستمتعوا بخلد. They used to take advantage of their strength. What happened to them? So izzah in this world has nothing to do with izzah in the eyes of Allah. And in fact, one can even make the case, as our Prophet ﷺ explicitly said, that when Allah loves a people, what does He do? He tests them. And so at times, being tested can actually be interpreted as a sign of raising one's ranks. Another way we began to understand what is going on is that if we truly believe in the promise of Allah, inshallah all of us do, then we have to have yaqeen at some level that the positives that will come are greater than the negatives. This is something that we have to have yaqeen about. Now those negatives might be painful, the suffering of people, the loss of innocent lives, humiliation, but we have to believe that overall the positives will outweigh the negatives, and that only comes if we have iman in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah Azza wa Jalla reminds us in the Quran that when one of the worst incidents or the most traumatic incidents happens in the seerah, which is the slander of Aisha, what did Allah Azza wa Jalla say? لا تحسبوه شرا لكم بل هو خير لكم. Don't think what happened is bad. No, overall there's going to be positives that come out. There's going to be positives. And after the battle of Uhud, when the Sahaba really were demoralized, there was a sense of panic and sadness. Allah revealed Ali Imran, Surah Ali Imran. It's very important to read Ali Imran after any one of these incidents happen, because it cheers us up. And Allah Azza wa Jal mentions so many things. Every time a calamity happens to you, are you going to go back to aqabikum? You're going to go back as if nothing happened? Every time something happens, Allah reminds the Sahaba that, look, you're going to be in pain and suffering, but they're also having in pain and suffering, and you have what they do not have. وَتَرْجُونَ مِنَ اللَّهِ مَا لَا يَرْجُونَ. The two sufferings are not the same. You have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's a wisdom here, and in these verses Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions so many times that the end result, the victory, will always be eventually for the believers. وَالْعَاقِبَةُ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. So we have to have that in our aqidah and iman, that eventually, yes, truth does come forth from falsehood, and the victory.